Terence Crawford's been teasing a fight with Canelo Alvarez, but quite a few pros think that he should rethink fighting Canelo. Jermell Charlo's brother is set to fight Canelo Alvarez first, and he's given his opinion on the fantasy fight between Terence and Canelo. Jermell stated, "If it happens, it won't interfere with my plans at all. I think Crawford might be too small for Canelo. He can't blow up as much as Canelo. It's entertaining to hope for, but I don't pick the fights." Amir Khan has fought both fighters at some point in his career, and he doesn't think that Terence should risk moving up that high in weight. Amir stated, "I don't think anyone is beating Canelo. There are rumors I'm hearing about Crawford moving up to 168 to fight Canelo. I like both guys, and I just think that Crawford should not give that much weight away. I've done it myself when I was at the peak of my career. Had a great win against Devin Alexander, then went and fought Canelo. You can't do it." Eddie Hearn is a huge fan of Canelo, and he doesn't think that Terence would be able to pose that much of a threat with coming up that far in weight. Eddie stated, "I hope he beats Charlo. If you're going to ask me about the Terence Crawford question, you're talking about two of my favorite fighters, two modern-day greats. I do think Canelo Alvarez is too big for Terence Crawford, as good as Terence Crawford is. In my opinion, you will never see Canelo come under 168 in a fight. I don't think he wants to do that. 168 is a little bit not tough, but it's enough. So I don't think you see Crawford come up to 168, and I think if he does, I don't think he beats Canelo. So I'm not sure whether that fight happens, but if it does, two great fighters, and I'll favor Alvarez." Paulie Malignaggi doesn't think that this fight would be taken seriously, and he doesn't think that it should happen. Paulie stated, "I don't know if that would really happen. We have seen some strange things in boxing, don't get me wrong, especially in recent years. So I don't say never, but I don't know how seriously that's going to be taken. I think that when you're at that level, where you're coming off a big win like Crawford just did, anything that you say reverberates through the sport. I think that he is too small, but then again, I thought he was too small for Spence. Shows what I know. I think it's a lot of weight classes to jump, but we'll see." Sean Porter really doesn't think that we're even going to get the fight set up.
But all that being said, we not getting no Canelo versus Terence Crawford. Here's what's bad.
Amazing.
Here's what's bad. It's bad that Canelo versus Bud Crawford, I think, makes more money than Canelo versus Benavidez.
Of course.
I think.
Of course.
Don't make sense. I think you're gonna have to do some strategic promoting to get Benavidez and Canelo to make, the kind of money I think it instantly makes with Bud Crawford.
Shane Mosley gave his predictions for both fights that Terence is looking at, and he gave him a better chance against Jermell over Canelo. Shane stated, "I see Crawford winning, but I can see Jermell Charlo winning as well. Charlo has height and size, speed, and he knows how to time his punches right. If Crawford has a problem with the speed of Jermell, it could be an issue with the height and range. For me, I think Crawford has the edge in that fight because he can go right-handed, southpaw, and he throws punches from different angles, and the hooks landing from different angles, whereas Charlo's are more straight. I think he's biting off more than he can chew because Canelo is a big boy." Not everyone is against Terence though. Oscar de la Hoya really thinks that Terence could humiliate Canelo in a fight. Oscar stated, "Terence Crawford will beat Canelo anytime. I've said before, the big talented man will always beat the small talented fighter. But Terence Crawford is not small. Terence Crawford is a big guy. He can walk around at 168 if he wants to. If this fight is made at 164, Terence Crawford all day. Based on skill set alone, Terence Crawford is a master and he will make Canelo look like a child. That's just my boxing experience. Do I want Canelo to win? Yes, but from an expert fighter's view, Crawford will beat him in a masterclass any day." On top of that, Shakur Stevenson witnessed Terence handling a heavyweight in sparring, and he doesn't see anyone beating him. Shakur stated, "Honestly, I think that Bud beats anybody who he gets in the ring with, even at a higher weight class. I think he's got all the tools and ability to beat anybody and everybody. He's got punching power, boxing IQ, boxing skills, and footwork. There's nothing he can't do in the ring, so I think he'd be a hard task for anybody. Another thing, his punching power translates to another weight class. I've been in the gym and seen him hurt a heavyweight, a 200-pound plus dude. He hurt him and he was in there with wobbly legs. I was like, damn, this mother can punch that hard. Shakur definitely sees Terence handling Canelo.
I think Bud could beat Canelo. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. How he be doing? So I think Bud would beat Canelo.
Sean Porter doesn't think that we're going to see this fight, and he says that Canelo is following a very strict plan. Sean stated, "Let me say this, Canelo Alvarez is on a special diet. When you're on a special diet, you may see some cookies and think they look good, but I'm not getting off my diet. He has a plan, a strict regimen. He ain't come over to PBC to fight Charlo and then fight Crawford. He ain't about to dibble and dabble in some other stuff. He's on a strict diet and he's going to follow that plan. And people hope it ends with David Benavidez." Mikey Garcia actually thinks that this would be the perfect time for Terence to capitalize on a fight with Canelo. Mikey stated, "Crawford-Canelo? I've seen Crawford box very effectively. It won't be an easy fight for Canelo though. Even though Crawford is technically the smaller fighter, he has the skill. He's also catching Canelo when he's not at his very best anymore. A couple of years ago, Canelo was dominating and knocking everybody out. Lately, he seems like he's slowed down a little bit with some injuries, but even with injuries or not, you've got to judge by what you saw in the fight. If he's a little injured or not as well prepared because of an injury or whatever the case may be, that gives Crawford a much better chance." When Jermell talked about his upcoming fight with Canelo, he plans to beat him so well that Terence will reconsider fighting either of them. Jermell stated, "I might not necessarily go back down to 154 to fight Terence Crawford. I might meet him at 160. I might meet him somewhere. If you want to make a mega fight, I want to make a mega fight. Terence Crawford isn't a mega fight. I'm the mega fight. Once I beat Canelo and I have that throne at 168, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna be wondering what's going on with Jermell Charlo. Yeah, Crawford won undisputed at 140. Yeah, he won at 147, but he's biting a little too much. So he's going to come try to fight me, but what I do to Canelo might shut him up." Bill Haney loved how well Terence beat Errol Spence, and he told him to go after Canelo next.
Time that you know anything about boxing and you've been studying boxing, the biggest fights, the strangest, and that fight delivered, and it might have even over-delivered in terms of the expectations. We know that both of those fighters can do that. It just was a matter of where they going to do it. And Terence Bud Crawford showed why he's #1 in the world.
What kind of fight do you expect at 154 pounds? Do you expect a more competitive fight, or could it be some of the same?
Nobody's beating Bud. Nobody's beating Bud right now. I told him go up and go after Canelo.
Oh.
Demetrius Andrade, on the other hand, believes that Terence should be careful when moving up in weight. And while he thinks Canelo's a great money fight, he doesn't think that he should stay up there. Demetrius stated, "Don't come up here at 168. It's a big difference. Crawford has the skill, but at 168, there are skilled fighters up here. There ain't nobody not seeing what he's doing. Plus, we'll be able to bully him. Fight Canelo, get your pay. Canelo's not a natural 168, 175 type guy. He started off at 154, 160. He's not like a tall guy. Canelo will say, hell yeah, that's not Triple G. That's not David Benavidez. That a small guy. These guys are coming down from 200 pounds to fight at 168 and then putting on 195 pounds. It's a big difference from fighting at 147. You need to develop the weight, size, and strength to get in there with a natural guy like Benavidez, Plant, Canelo, or Jermell Charlo. These are all big guys." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.